Now we're going to take a look at course components. So under course settings, you can find basically everything to control the setup of your course. When you are inside a course and you look at the global navigation bar on the far left, right next to that on the right of the global navigation bar will be your course navigation bar. So at the bottom of that is course settings, where you go to update your settings for your course. So in these settings, you can control recent announcements and commenting. So you can actually allow or disallow your learners to comment back to your announcements. You can also just control the discussion functions. So these are your discussion forums. So you can allow your learners to attach files. You can also allow them to edit or delete posts. You can even set it up so that they have to contribute an original post to a discussion before they're able to see their peers' discussion posts. Also in settings is course navigation options. This is where you customize what appears in the course bar next to your global navigation bar. So in your course navigation bar, then you will have links there and you can control what your learners see. So for me, I turn off pages, I turn off quizzes, and I turn off assignments because I want my learners to go directly into the module and navigate through the module to the pages with the content and then directly into the assessment of learning. So all of that is controlled in your course navigation options. You also have the ability to change the time zone of the course and the language of the course. Pretty much anywhere you type into the Canvas system, you're going to find a rich content editor. This rich content editor is basically a condensed toolbar that is very similar to what you're used to when you use Microsoft Word or Google Docs. It has the same options for creating paragraph headings for accessibility purposes, font size, bold, underline, italics, things like that. So the rich content editor, like I said, is available almost everywhere in Canvas. That means that you can type in the rich content editor for your announcements, assignments, discussions, pages, quizzes, and syllabus. And what I really like about the RCE is that it contains an accessibility checker. So when you are setting up your content within a page, for example, you will have your headings inside of there. So you'll start with a heading 2 and then move to a heading 3. Say you shift back up and to a larger heading that you shouldn't, then the accessibility checker is going to throw up an error. It will throw up a number right above the accessibility checker inside the RCE. You click on that error and it walks you through fixing the error to make a more accessible page. So that rich content editor with accessibility checker is incredibly handy. Also in here is announcements. Announcements are used for broadcasting information to all members of a course or to a specific section. So even if you have a combined course of multiple sections, you can still target your announcements to go out only to specific sections, or you can push them throughout the entire course. Announcements are a great way of maintaining a record of communications, everything you tell your students, all your announcements and important dates. It allows students to interact. If you set them up that way, they can actually reply to your announcement or like it, interact with it. And what I really appreciate about the announcements is that they allow for delayed posting of announcements. So for me, I will sit down before the class starts and I will create an announcement for every important day throughout the quarter. And I will have it set up to delay post those announcements and push them out when I so desire. Your home page is really neat. Unlike Moodle, you can actually choose where your learners land in your class. So over here on the left, you see the picture of where you choose your course homepage, and you have those options. Do you want to showcase your course activity stream? Do you want to make a page that is your landing page for your class? Do you want your learners to automatically go into the course modules or see the assignments list? Or if you really want to guarantee that they have looked at the syllabus, you can make them look at the syllabus every time they enter the class. So you can, as the instructor, decide where your learners land in your class. So their starting page, their starting spot in the class. And you can use the homepage to guide your learners to important areas of the course using banners, buttons, and text. I especially like to do buttons on a homepage that link directly to the modules. It makes it for a much more seamless experience. The syllabus is really interesting. It actually automatically builds. It builds a syllabus course summary. So items and dates are automatically added to that syllabus course summary as you add graded components and calendar events to your class. So they will automatically be added to the course summary, and it is a cumulative summary starting from the first day of the class. Learners can see all those due dates in one place. You also have the ability to make your syllabus public or share it with others outside the class. And like I showed you before, you could set it as your homepage to guarantee your learners definitely view your syllabus. Modules are the flexible learning structures. These can be weeks, months, units, chapters, etc. They also included flexible content. So those are your assignments, then your assessments, like your quizzes, discussions. You can have your pages for content, external URLs, and also third-party applications such as McGraw-Hill Connect, where you go and you have content outside of the LMS and it pushes them into the third-party application to consume the content and then back into the LMS. Modules are super easy to customize. You can reorder the modules because they are drag and drop. You'll see that a lot of things within the Canvas LMS are drag and drop, but the modules are. So if you don't like the way that your module is laid out, you can simply move your components around to a better layout for you. Modules also create a customized flow. The next and the previous buttons guide learners through the modules. So when they open up the modules, say you have an introductory page to introduce your learners to the content and to the learning outcomes for the module. So they'll go into the introductory page. They will read that content, that introduction. They will press the next button. It will push them into the content you want them to consume about that topic, and then the next button will push them into the assessment of learning for that content they just consumed. So it helps the learners to easily flow through the module with those next and previous buttons. You also have the ability to add prerequisites and requirements. So you can do a prerequisite that a learner must complete the previous module, go through all the contents in that module, and complete an assessment and get a specific score before the next module pops open. You can also create requirements, such as requiring that a learner goes sequentially through all of the components of the module. So these are all set up within the module settings. You can also use text headers and indentations to organize your content and assessments visually, and makes it much more streamlined for your users if you have some of these visual cues in there so that they understand that this is the introduction, this is the content, this is the assessment. And you can also lock modules to automatically open. So you can lock them to open when a previous module is completed, or you can lock them to open at a specific time.